Black screen, one heartbeat, then the flash of cameras explodes like gunfire. Angel Reese stands at the podium, fresh off a loss, braids tight, eyes sharper than the lights. A reporter smirks, voice dripping with that practiced condescension they save for black girls who dare shine too bright. Angel, some are saying your on-court celebrations and trash talk are hurting the league's image. Any regrets? The room holds its breath. She leans into the mic, slow, deliberate, and raises one hand. Middle finger high, unapologetic, unflinching, gasps ripple, cameras click like machine guns. Someone whispers, career suicide, drops low, almost a growl. One finger was supposed to bury her. One finger just freed her. Hard cut, headline montage slams across the screen. Reese meltdown, league to fine unprofessional star. Sponsors threaten to drop Chicago Sky rookie. Then the screen freezes on her face. No smile, no fear nowhere to be found. Just quiet, regal fury. Voiceover again, softer now, dangerous. They thought they could shame a queen who learned hustle in Baltimore streets and pride from a mother who cleaned hotel rooms so her daughter could dream in hardwood palaces. They thought a fine could quiet a voice that already survived being told she was too aggressive, too loud, too black for the sport that now cashes her checks. They forgot one thing. Cut to black. One heartbeat. Two. White text detonates. Angel Reese just flipped off the reporters and signed with a league that pays her $2 million. The palace thought the gesture was the story. They had no idea it was only the invitation, and the queen they tried to cancel is about to take the crown they never wanted her to wear. They told her black girls from the block don't get to be the face of anything except struggle. She answered by leading LSU to a national championship while wearing mink coats and a crown made of pure defiance. She became the reason little brown girls in Chicago public schools started wearing number 10 jerseys to class. The reason grandmothers who never watched basketball learned how to spell BAYOU BARBIE. The reason sponsors who once ignored the W finally opened their wallets when they realized Joy could sell sneakers too. And across the table sit the villains in pressed suits and fake concern. Reporters who call her celebrations ghetto, but praised Larry Bird for the exact same fire. League executives who fine her for braids and attitude, but let veterans slide for decades. Old guard commentators who clutch pearls when she trash talks, but built statues for men who did worse. They watched her sell out arenas in cities that never cared about women's hoops before. Watched Nike drop signature shoes and State Farm commercials faster than they ever did for anyone not named Sabrina or Brianna. Watched the president call her name while they got polite mentions at best. And still they whispered, too aggressive, too loud, too dark-skinned for the brand, too unapologetic for the image. Too Baltimore for their country club sport. They handed her a rookie contract that barely cracked 6 figures, while overseas men's leagues offered millions. They scheduled her games on tiny streaming services while the men got prime time. They let columnists call her classless, while the same writers praised white players for competitive spirit. They thought the middle finger was about one bad night. It wasn't. It was about every night she was told to shrink, smile softer, speak lighter, celebrate quieter, so the people who never looked like her could feel comfortable cashing checks off her back. They thought the press conference was the trap. It was the exit door, because while they were busy writing her obituary, a new league called Project B was writing her a check for 7 figures, full equity, and the one thing the WNBA never gave her, respect. They handed her a microphone to apologize. She used it to say goodbye. The stage is set. The palace thinks it still owns the game. But the daughter of a hotel maid who learned pride before politeness just picked up the pen, and she's about to rewrite the whole damn contract. It was never a press conference. It was an execution dressed up as journalism. The lights are too bright, the room too small, the questions already loaded in the chamber. Angel walks in still in her warm-ups, sweat cooling on her skin, loss still stinging, but chin high like always. The moderator smiles the way executioners smile, polite, practiced, lethal. First question lands soft, then the blade slips out. Angel, some are saying your behavior on the court is becoming a distraction to the league's growth. Do you think black women should tone it down to make the sport more marketable? The room leans in. Cameras zoom. They want tears. They want apology. They want the queen on her knees. Second reporter, same smirk. You've been fined multiple times this season. When are you going to take accountability instead of playing the victim? Third, fans are saying you're everything wrong with the new generation. Arrogant, entitled, classless. How do you respond to that? They fire in waves now. No pause, no breath. Voices overlapping like they rehearsed it in the group chat. Is the middle finger tonight proof you don't respect the game that made you? Do you think your attitude is why sponsors are hesitant? Some veterans say you're poisoning the locker room. True? Each question a landmine wrapped in concern. Each one designed to make her flinch, shrink, fold. The chyron underneath screams in red. Reese refuses to apologize. Career in jeopardy. They lean forward, hungry, pens poised for the kill shot. This is the moment they've waited for all season. The Baltimore girl finally broken on live television. Angel's eyes sweep the room slow, taking in every smug face, every raised eyebrow, every phone recording for the clip that will end her. And in that silence, you can feel it. The weight of every little black girl watching at home. Every mom who ever worked doubles so her daughter could dribble. Every ancestor who survived worse than words. They think they have her cornered. They think the trap is perfect. They forgot one thing. Queens from the block don't break. They bite. And the ambush just became the moment the hunter became the hunted. For 8 beautiful hours, the palace feasted. In the press room corridor, the reporters clinked water bottles like champagne. We finally got her, one grinned, replaying the middle finger clip on loop. Career suicide in 4K. Another posted the raw footage with the caption, "Career end." Incoming, and watched the likes avalanche. By midnight, the headlines wrote themselves. Angel Reese meltdown costs her everything. League sources, fines, and suspension imminent. Sponsors already pulling Reese deals. Talking head panels ran overtime, faces grave, voices dripping with rehearsed disappointment. She's a liability, they nodded. The WNBA can't grow with this kind of toxicity. The same mouths that called Caitlin's fire passion and Aja's glare leadership. Now branded Angel the problem child nobody wants. Twitter turned into a victory parade. Old guard fans who never bought a ticket posted crying, laughing emojis. Anonymous league accounts quote-tweeted the gesture with, "This is not who we are." Someone leaked that Nike was reevaluating her signature line. Someone else claimed the Sky front office was already shopping her in trade talks. In a hotel bar downtown, a veteran columnist raised a glass. Told y'all these new girls think the league revolves around them. One finger and she's done. Laughter echoed. Phones buzzed with push alerts confirming the fine was coming. 6 figures, maybe more. They refreshed her Instagram expecting damage control. Maybe a tearful apology video? Maybe a statement about learning and growing. Instead, they got nothing. Radio silence, stories wiped clean. Profile picture switched to all black. The victory lap kept rolling. ESPN ran a poll. Should Angel Reese be suspended? 82% said yes before sunrise. A former player went on national TV and sighed, "I played with class. Kids today just want attention." The clip got 2 million views in an hour. They told themselves the message was received. They told themselves the queen had finally bowed. They told themselves the little girls watching would learn to stay in line. And for one shining moment, they believed the sport was safe again in their manicured hands. Back in her hotel room, Angel sat on the edge of the bed, phone dyke, middle finger still, tingling from the cameras. One text lit the screen from an unknown number. 2.4 million plus equity. Project B. No fines, no apologies. You in? She stared at the message for a long time. Then she smiled. Slow, lethal, regal. The false triumph lasted 8 hours. The reckoning just got its contract. And the queens they tried to bury alive are about to build an empire on the grave they dug themselves. Morning shows became coliseums. The hosts wore their best funeral faces. One by one, they paraded the same clip. Angel's middle finger frozen in 4K, slow motion, circled in red like a crime scene photo. Disrespectful, unprofessional, a slap in the face to every woman who bled for this league. A former player turned analyst shook her head with Oscar-worthy sorrow. When I played, we knew how to act like ladies. This is why sponsors run. They brought on a body language expert who claimed the gesture revealed deep-seated rage issues. They flashed side-by-side photos, Angel flipping, Bird next to Sue Bird smiling politely. The chyron read, Class vs. Chaos. The pylon turned ritual. Every hour, a new voice, every voice angrier than the last. Suspend her. Trade her. Black women need to learn gratitude. They spoke about her like she was a virus, not a 22-year-old who just carried a franchise on a rookie deal. Angel went live from her apartment. No makeup, braids wrapped, voice calm enough to cut glass. Let's talk about respect. Y'all find me for a finger but never find the racism in the stands. Y'all call me classless but paid the white girl who cursed out refs for 10 years. Y'all say I'm hurting growth, but my jersey sold out in 43 minutes, while half these arenas still half empty for your favorites. The chat exploded. Mothers typing through tears. Little boys in Baltimore holding up cardboard crowns. Queer kids in Mississippi seeing their anger finally named. A male co-host laughed. Actually laughed. This victim card again. Nobody foresee. To flip off the press. Angel didn't blink. Nobody forced you to pay me $76,000 to be your villain of the week either. But here we are. The laughter died in his throat. Another analyst jumped in, voice rising. You're everything wrong with Gen Z. Entitled, loud, you think the league owes you? Angel cut him off. Soft but lethal. The league owes me what it owes every player who packed these arenas, while y'all still called it charity. It owes me what it owes every black girl who watched you celebrate white mediocrity and demonize black excellence. It owes me the same grace you gave everyone who looks like you, and none of the ones who look like me. The moderator tried to move on. Angel didn't let him. You want to talk disrespect? Disrespect is paying your stars poverty wages, while the men get mansions. Disrespect is letting columnists call me ghetto for wearing braids, but silent when they called intense. Disrespect is building a league on black bodies and black joy, then panic. The second we refuse to whisper thank you, the male host's face went crimson. You're out of control. Angel smiled, small, devastating. Out of your control, maybe. Never out of mine. The villains shouted over each other now, veins popping, grasping for the old script that always worked before. Angel just sat there, calm, unbreakable. Every inch the daughter of a woman who cleaned hotel rooms and still taught her baby to never bow. The escalation was complete. They threw every weapon they had, and for the first time in decades, the palace doors rattled. Because the queen they tried to silence just took the microphone. And the world finally shut up long enough to listen. The arena is dark except for one spotlight. Angel Reese walks out alone, and a week later, no warm-ups, no team logo, just a black hoodie that reads, "Paid in full," across the chest. The crowd is already on its feet before she even touches the mic. She lets the roar wash over her, then raises one hand. Silence. A guillotine. They told y'all I was in trouble. They told y'all one finger ended my career. They told y'all I'd come here today to beg. She pauses. The arena holds its breath. I'm not here to beg. I'm here to collect. She pulls out her phone, flips it so the camera sees the screen. A contract. Project B letterhead, $2.4 million base, equity stake, global broadcast deal, signature line already inked. This is what happens when you try to fine a queen for having a pulse. The place detonates. She waits again, lets the cheers die into hungry quiet. Y'all spent all week calling me toxic. Let me show you what toxic really looks like. Swipe. Slide 1. WNBA salary cap chart. Her name circled at the bottom. $76,535. Next to it, the lowest paid man in the G League, $500K. Swipe. Slide 2. Leaked email from a major sponsor last year. Prefer players with broader appeal, less urban. Swipe. Slide 3. Side-by-side fines. Angel fined $25K for rebound. White veteran fined $0 for telling a ref, "F you," on live TV. The crowd starts booing the screen, not her. She keeps going, voice, velvet, and venom. They said my middle finger hurt the league's image. Funny. My middle finger bought my mama a house. My middle finger paid my little brother's tuition. My middle finger sold more jerseys in 1 week than half these franchises do in a season. Laughter and screams collide. She leans in until her eyes swallow the arena. Y'all want to talk respect? Respect is not asking black women to whisper so white fans feel safe. Respect is not paying us poverty wages while the league pockets billions off our backs. Respect is not letting grown men in comment sections call me every name but my own while y'all stay silent. She lifts the hoodie. Underneath, a Project B jersey, number 10. Nameplate reads, "Unapologetic." This league right here, they don't find joy. They don't police brains. They don't tell you to smile softer so somebody's feels comfortable. They pay you what you're worth. They broadcast you to the world. They let you be the full, loud, brilliant black woman God made you to be. The spotlight widens. Behind her, on the Jumbotron, one by one, names flash. Kelsey Mitchell, signed. Sophie Cunningham, signed. Jonquel Jones, signed. Jewel Lloyd, signed. More coming. Every name draws a bigger roar. Angel turns back to the camera, voice dropping to almost a whisper that somehow fills every corner. They thought the middle finger was anger. It was a goodbye. Goodbye to being your villain so you can sleep better. Goodbye to smiling while you underpay us. Goodbye to shrinking so your fragile feelings stay intact. She holds up the contract like a torch. This is for every little black girl who ever got called too much. Every mama who cleaned somebody else's house so hers could dream. Every sister who was told her joy was a threat. She pauses one last beat. They wanted an apology? I gave them an exodus. The arena erupts so loud the rafters shake. Angel drops the mic, lets it fall. The sound cracks like thunder. Screen cuts to black. 1 heartbeat. 2. Then her phone lights up on the floor. Incoming call, WNBA commissioner. She looks at it, smiles, turns the phone face down. The palace is officially on its knees, and the queen they tried to cancel just became the reason the whole game will never be the same. The clip didn't go viral. It detonated a revolution. Within 4 hours, #ReeseDon'tBow was the #1 global trend in 41 countries. By sunrise, the contract reveal had 700 million views, and the number kept climbing like it had wings. TikTok became holy ground. A 13-year-old Dominican girl from Washington Heights stitched Angel's "Goodbye to Shrinking" line with footage of her abuela scrubbing hospital floors at dawn. "This crown is for you, abuela." 180 million views before school started. A queer black hooper in Memphis overlaid slide with audio of his mama crying over medical bills. A Mexican-American teacher in LA filmed her entire third-grade class wearing paper crowns that read "BAYOU BARBIE," chanting "We don't whisper, we roar." 400 million before noon. Then the legend spoke. Aja Wilson posted a black square and 3 words: "Protect her always." Brianna Stewart: "Some queens don't kneel, they build new kingdoms." Sabrina Ionescu, who'd stayed neutral all season, finally broke. "I was scared to speak. She wasn't." Lesson learned. Even Diana Taurasi, the untouchable, the one they used as a shield, posted a throwback of herself trash-talking in 2004 next to Angel's middle finger. Same fire, different consequences. Time's up. Bad Bunny dropped a story wearing the unreleased Project B jersey. Crown emoji, caption "Reina Absoluta." 60 million views in 40 minutes. LeBron James quote-tweeted the fine notice: "They find joy, we fund freedom." AOC tweeted the leaked sponsor email with one. When they say less urban, they mean less black. We see you. Corporate America sprinted harder than ever. Nike dropped a surprise Reese 10 Midnight Pack, sold out in 11 minutes. Gatorade replaced every WNBA billboard with her face and the words "No apologies necessary." Then the boycott hit like a hurricane. Season ticket renewals crashed 91% overnight. The merchandise store took Angel's jersey offline for review. And the site crashed from traffic anyway. Arenas that were printing money suddenly stared at oceans of empty seats. The Players Association filed an emergency demand letter, not just for Angel's fine, but for every black woman ever punished for existing too loud. Late-night shows that never cared suddenly cared hard. Trevor Noah called the league "blockbuster mad at Netflix again." Z-Way sold fake fines. "Be black and breathe." 50K. But the quietest knives came from the children. Little girls started mailing their WNBA youth jerseys back to player. Headquarters. One from Destiny in Baltimore. "My mom works 2 jobs like yours. We keep our crowns, not your shame." From Camila in Miami. "I thought queens looked like me. Thank you for showing me they do." By Saturday, the return jerseys formed a mountain in the lobby you couldn't walk around. The league finally posted at midnight. 212 words of corporate nothing that never once said her name. The ratio became a war crime, and through all of it, Angel stayed silent online. No gloating, no interviews, just power. Because she knew the fire didn't need her voice anymore. The palace was burning from every corner. And the daughters they tried to fine into silence were the ones holding the torch. The aftermath was never fallout. It was the coronation. And the throne they tried to deny her just became the foundation of a new empire. The lights in the United Center come up slow, almost sacred. 30,000 phones rise like a galaxy of quiet fire. Angel Reese steps to center court. No music, no graphics, just the echo of her sneakers and the weight of every little black girl who ever felt too loud watching from the rafters. She doesn't smile yet. They wanted you to believe this was about one middle finger, one fine, one bad night. She shakes her head. This was never about my finger in the air. This was about every maid who ever cleaned a locker room so her daughter could dream in it. Every mother who worked doubles so her baby could afford travel ball. Every brown, black, bold, beautiful child who was told the game wasn't built for them. She looks straight up at the banner where her rookie jersey already hangs retired. They tried to teach us that joy is a privilege you earn by shrinking. that gratitude means swallowing disrespect with a smile, that the court stays small so the same hands can keep holding the gate. Her voice softens, but it fills every seat. My mother taught me different. She taught me that when they try to find your spirit, you don't shrink, you rise. She taught me that service isn't bowing, it's building. That ancestry isn't just who came before you, it's who you refuse to leave behind. She gestures to the stands, to the sea of little faces painted with crowns and Chicago red. This league, this sport, was built by Black women who refuse to be invisible, carried on the backs of loud women who refuse to be quiet, protected by unapologetic women who refuse to be ashamed. And now it belongs to all of us who refuse to let them shrink it back down to fit their fear. She lifts a new banner rising behind her, a silhouette of a girl raising one finger to the sky, surrounded by every flag in the building tonight. Underneath, one line: joy is not a fine. This isn't my victory. This is the victory of the 10-year-old in Baltimore who learned her fire is allowed. Of the mom in Chicago who finally believes her daughter's dreams are worth more than minimum wage. Of every kid who ever felt too Black, too bold, too much, and heard someone finally say, "Come as you are. The court is yours." She pauses. The arena holds its breath. They thought finding one girl would scare the rest of us into silence. They forgot we are daughters of women who survived worse than fines and still taught us to stand tall. We don't stay fined. We burn the fine and build a bigger league. The lights shift to purple and gold, ancestral colors washing over everything. The crowd starts chanting, soft at first, then thunder. "BAYOU BARBIE, BAYOU BARBIE, BAYOU BARBIE." Angel finally smiles, tears falling free now. The palace didn't fall, it burned clean. And from the ashes we rose, not as problems at their table, but as the architects of a new house, where every little girl who ever felt too much gets to walk in and hear her name roared like prayer. She drops the mic, lets it fall. The sound echoes like the first crack of a revolution that will never be silent again. The queens have claimed the court. Now it's our two. The lights dim until only Angel remains in the center circle. 30,000 phones glowing around her like a living constellation of defiance. The chant fades into one heartbeat you can feel in your soul. My voice drops in, low, final, burning. They thought one middle finger could break her. They forgot she was never theirs to break. We are the daughters of hotel maids who rose before sunrise, of nurses who worked doubles, of mothers who crossed deserts with nothing but faith that their babies would never have to choose between pride and a paycheck. Tonight, we didn't just save Angel Reese's joy. We claimed every joy they ever tried to find out of us. So here's the truth. They still don't want you to carry in your chest. When we rise together, Black, brown, queer, immigrant, loud, proud, no league can keep us small. The court was never theirs. It was always ours. If this story set your blood on fire, smash that subscribe button right now. Turn on the bell, because the revolution didn't end tonight. It just got its crown. Drop in the comments the moment that made you cry, made you scream, made you text your sister, "We don't shrink anymore." Tell me your mother's name so we can say it loud. Because the next time they try to find one of us, 50 million of us will be waiting. We are the joy. We are the storm. We are the queens. And we are just getting started. See you in the next fight, familia. The screen fades to black. One final heartbeat. Then the lights come up on you.